cord. I'm on a new computer and I don't know how to get my audio on, so I'm going to do it from my phone, which is fine. And then I will send you the slides right after this. And really the slides just had words on them. So I will just, I can see my slides in front of me and we'll deep dive in. I'm going to start training, and again, please feel free to ask questions as I go or wait till the end when I'll open it up for questions. But this week we are deep diving into Facebook Live and the power of it and the power of video and how to do a Facebook Live really, really effectively. And I just want you to know, if you've never done a Facebook Live, you're not alone. And it's so exciting to start. And it's so terrifying, I know, for so many. And I was there. I probably did my first Facebook Live. You would not believe this, but probably only about 8 months ago. And I had hives all the way up my neck. And I was like, look at me. I was so nervous. And it was fine. It was great. And it's been great ever since. And so you just, done is better than none. And every professional starts out as an amateur, and that is for sure the case in Facebook Lives. But if you're going to be using Facebook Lives when you start using Facebook Lives, why not start doing them with a strategy to really maximize them? So it's one of my most favorite marketing, prospecting avenues that I use. I just enrolled 4 high-end coaching clients from Facebook Lives in the last couple months, literally people that I've never met. Someone sent a Facebook Live to their friend and said, check out Dr. Erin, and the person checked me out, and it's been a ripple effect. And so it's really, really exciting. Again, just like one Facebook post doesn't create a business, one Facebook Live is not going to, automatically put $3,000 in your bank account, etc. But done consistently over time, over a long enough period of time, it will absolutely be a game changer. Okay, so excited. So they say that 1 minute of video, you might want to write this down because it's just a very interesting stat. 1 minute of video is worth 1,800,000 words, 1.8 million words. And the way that someone figured that out is that old saying, remember, a picture's worth 1,000 words. When you look at 1 minute of video and how many pictures and frames it takes to get to that, that's where we get that statistic. Video is super, super, super powerful in terms of connecting with your audience and building that likability factor. So I'm going to share with you some stats. Again, I'll share with you these slides. So I apologize about that. But I want you to think of these statistics and what it could mean for you and your business. So by 2018, we're in 2018, 79% of online traffic will be video. You've probably been noticing this shift that years ago, none of us were on video. A year ago, some of us were on video, Facebook Lives, and now everyone's hopping in. And you know what? You want to hop in the water and get on your paddleboard because the wave is coming, and let's ride the wave, okay? So here's the deal. Videos, sorry, just a second. My screen just hit screensaver. Just a moment. Oh, I hit power off. Okay, sorry. I'm powering it up again. Okay, here's the deal. Videos and Facebook Lives increase your know, like, and trust factor way, way faster. Okay, so just like speaking is the #1 way to grow your business, that's why videos and Facebook Lives work so well and so effectively, because it's insta credibility. When you see someone talking and you see their emotions and you connect with them and you get to know them as a real person, there's something that's really, really powerful about that in terms of relationship building, which again is the #1 factor to sales and growing your business, right? Okay, let's pull it up. Here we go. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just getting to my next slide. Okay, so they say 90% of purchasing decisions, and I have the stats here, are emotional, not informational. So that is why it's so interesting, right? And so effective to use video and Facebook Live. Okay, video grabs the attention of people. So 60% of people are going to keep listening more. 60% of people are going to keep listening to you than if compared to if you just had text alone. We know that on YouTube every day, every month, 3 billion hours of video are watched. 3 billion hours of video are watched on YouTube. YouTube's the #2 platform in the world, and it's beating out Google. 64% of users are more likely to buy a product online after watching a video. And again, it accelerates your know, like, and trust factor. There's also some statistics that say people will stay way longer on your website, like minutes longer on your website, which is a long time for people to hang out on a website these days, if you have a video at the beginning of your website. And so if you don't, I highly suggest that you do that. I have a video right in the front, first page of my website. It grabs people's attention. They don't want to just start reading anymore. So that's one thing that you could go and do right now. Or you can even put a video on your LinkedIn. If you have a LinkedIn profile, you can pop a video right then and there. And you can just start out with making a video of yourself, just like me here, saying who you are and what you do. People are going to watch that. So it used to be in sales and marketing, the statistic was we needed about 5 to 7 touches before people would know, like, and trust us enough to purchase from us. Now people need about 25 to 28 touches. So your video and Facebook Lives are going to increase that rate, right? Because it increases your know, like, and trust factor. Okay, so let's dive into an effective Facebook Live. The first thing I want you to think about is creating a really compelling title. And you're going to create your title, obviously, from your content. You're going to create your content, remember last week, from your personal branding. Okay, and I've got lots of catchy titles in my slides here, but things like, you have to, in this marketplace, you have to make people want to stop and click. Okay, so I see people doing this wrong. They do Facebook Lives and they don't even have a title. And people aren't stopping and scrolling. They don't know what you're talking about, right? Makes sense. So you can have titles like The Secrets To, or Don't Ever, or How To, or 3 Steps To, or Free Ways To, What to Do When, 7 Steps to Finding the Dream of your home of your dreams. You can do an interview. Interviews are really popular. You can do a demonstration video. That's super popular. There's some statistics. People love watching demonstration videos. And what I mean by that is, if you're an interior designer, like, I want to see you look at a bookshelf, and then what do you do with it to organize it and make it bibbidi-bobbidi-boo look amazing afterwards? Okay? If you're a health and wellness coach, you can do a demonstration video of how to quickly make a power bowl in the morning for breakfast, and people will watch that all day long. Okay? So here are the steps to an effective Facebook Live. Step 1, I want you, after you think about you definitely want to have a title, but your first step that I want to say is start right away. So most people are going to be watching you on the replay. Your goal is to get people watching you live, and some people will, but think about it. If you're coming on at a certain time, not everyone's going to be able to hop on right then and there. So most people are catching you on the replay, and that's fine. So that's why you want to start right away. So I see people start, and if this is you, it's okay. It's okay. You're not what you were doing. And they'll sit there and wait, and they'll just be like, hey, I'm just waiting for people to hop on. And meanwhile, like, you're waiting and you're hopping on, and you're like, why am I not good enough for you to start? And now I'm bored, so I'm going, right? If you put a television channel on and nothing was showing, you're going to leave right away. So I don't mean you need to dive into your content like first second of the Facebook Live, but you can start warming up your audience, so to speak, and you want to start talking right away. So I want to hop on, for example, and say, hey, everybody, hope you're having a great Monday. Oh my gosh, I just got back from 4 days with Brenda Bouchard. I mean, you can make small talk like that. You can say, so excited to share what I'm sharing with you today. I'm going to talk about, sales. But before we do, let me know where you're coming from, or let me know where you're listening from, or drop me a yes below if you just had an awesome weekend. Like, you can do a little bit of small talk like that, or let them know what you're going to be talking about. literally 20 to 30 seconds, and you'll get some people hopping on in that time, okay? So first step, number one, start right away. Number two, introduce yourself and share what your tagline is, and I can help you with that if you don't have one, or your kind of introduction of who you are. I would recommend that be the same every single time that you hop on, because that's going to increase your know, like, and trust factor, and you're going to become known as that top of mind expert, for that. So I hop on and, for example, I say, hello, this is Dr. Erin. I am your high performance and mindset strategist. I help business owners and entrepreneurs make money doing what they love. And I'm happy to join you guys all today. And this is what I'm going to be talking about. So you kind of do an introduction of yourself every time. And you might think you're always repeating yourself. You are. But guess what? Remember, not everyone's watching all your Facebook Lives. And for somebody, it's their first time getting to know you. So you always want to introduce yourself. Maybe your tagline is, I am blah, 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 and I help busy moms create an income stream online. Whatever it is you do, have that be your introduction of yourself every single time. Third, you can start by starting to grab some engagement. So what I like to do is I like to say, if you're new to my Facebook Lives, welcome, and please drop the word new below. And then I say, because I'd love to send you my free gift. Now, I have a free gift that's this online little training series. You might have a free gift that might be anything you decide it can be. If you're a realtor, have it be a top 10 list of how to sell your home. Or let me send you something. Start to become a person of value that gives value to your audience. So come up with your freebie, your gift. Give them a reason to engage with you. I also say, if you want my free gift, drop the words free gift below. Again, your goal on Facebook Lives is to start engagement, is to get engagement. You can also say, if you're watching on the replay, drop the word replay below, because I love getting to know people and I cannot wait to get to know what you're up to in the world and get to know you. I love my replayers. So I will say that. So I'll say, hey, drop the word new below if you're new, drop the word replay if you're watching on the replay, and drop the words free gift if you'd like my free gift. And I will send that to you after this Facebook Live as a thank you for watching. I'm so excited to get to know you and get to know what you're up to in the world. Let's dive in. So I might introduce it like that. Okay? That's going to be amazing for your engagement over on Facebook Messenger and to grow your business. Fourth, you're going to share your content. And I'll share with you again how we're going to kind of think about that. But a couple things I want to say about sharing your content. You want to add value in your Facebook Lives, right? So think of educating people about something or sharing with them something. It's not just an entertaining story. Think about really maximizing your content. And one of my favorite tricks is, finding a reason to share something. So your reason can be often, I was reading in a book last night, or I saw a headline as I was standing in the grocery store, top 10 foods to blast fat. And you know what? I want to share some of those with you. Or I was at a conference this week and we were talking about how to be more productive. I can't wait to share with you my top 3 takeaways. So give them kind of an idea of what you're going to be sharing and the content you're going to be delivering. And then generally speaking, your Facebook Lives can be about 8 to 15 minutes. And that might seem like a long time, but it's a Facebook Live. And so you're going to realize over time, it actually goes by really fast because you start engaging with people. So videos, on the other hand, videos need to be about 1 to 3 minutes. Videos are in and out. People aren't, you don't need your videos to and what I mean by a video is a pre-recorded video. Okay? That's not going to be a 10-minute thing. If you just want to do a pre-recorded video, those are great, but those can be much shorter. If you're brand new to Facebook Live or you're brand new to kind of starting your following, it's okay to go shorter. So if it makes sense, right? If I have a following of 200, I might go a little shorter than if I have a following of 3,000 people that hop on to listen to me. If I have a very huge following and a really large influence on Facebook Live, I can go longer. They're going to hang out with me longer. They're going to stick around. They want to know what I'm talking about, right? So it's okay to start out, 5 to 8 minutes, but you can go 12 to 15 minutes. Really, people aren't going to watch something if it's more than 12 to 15 minutes, right? If you get in your car or if you start listening to something, you see it's 30 minutes, are you really going to dial in? Most people aren't these days, okay? So number 5, at the end, you want to always thank them. Thank you so much for hopping on. It means so much. I hope you got value. I can't wait to learn how you all, use these strategies or whatever, but you kind of want to bookend it. So you start out with your intro, you end with your intro, and I like to thank them for joining. I like to add again with who I am. You don't have to, but I like to reiterate who I am. Once again, this is Dr. Erin, your high performance and mindset strategist. So I do that again. And then last but not least, probably the most important, other than adding value, is I want you to, number 6, end with a call to action. Now, what I mean by that is your call to action is I'll give you lots of examples, but that is your reason for people to engage with you and your reason to wrap around and engage with them. So your call to actions could be anything from, if you'd like my free gift, drop that below. If you'd like to know where I'm speaking next, drop that below. If you would like to know about my next workshop, drop workshop below, or say private message me and I will private message you. If you'd like to know what book I was reading where that was all in, drop that below. Anything can be your call to action because you want a reason to connect. Okay? If you don't have a book or workbook or anything, go and Google something that then becomes your free gift. So if I want, if you want let me know if you want my list of top 10 foods that blast fat. Say, I don't have a top 10 list, Dr. Erin, that blasts fat. Go Google one and create one. And you're adding value to people. If you want to learn how I start out my morning, say yes, please below, and I will send you the thing that I watch every morning to make me a high performer. That gives me a reason. Gives me a reason to go converse. I can send them my little YouTube thing that I watch every morning. It's not from me. I'm just sending something to them. Okay? Okay. Couple other tips that build your likability factor on Facebook. You're going to want to try the best that you can to look into the camera. So it's really easy when you're on Facebook Live to watch yourself. Like here I'm watching myself, which is different, and I'm talking, and you can see how that feels. And here I think I'm looking into the camera, right? Dawn, am I looking into the camera right now? I think I am, right? Okay, so you want to look into the camera like you are talking to somebody, okay? Another tip is I want you to imagine, and every professional speaker will tell you this, I want you to imagine speaking to only one person. That's going to help you. So very, very effective professional speakers find someone in the audience at all times and look directly into them. They're not looking over the audience. It's going to help with your anxiety level, but I want you to imagine someone's in the back of your camera. So I might imagine Dawn is sitting here and I'm imagining in my head teaching her how to do a Facebook Live. It's going to help your presence a lot. You're not going to use grammar like you're talking to one person, but you're going to pretend, right? Experientially that you're talking to one person. Everything you're doing, I want you to think of, again, your goal is to provide value, and think about that you are providing something special. And so if that really is the case, you've got some excitement about it, okay? And you've got some energy behind that. And I want you to think about being you times 2 on Facebook Lives and videos. And what I mean by that is You don't have to be a circus clown version of yourself. You don't have to be, you know, a cartoon, woo, crazy, crazy. But it's also important that you add in a little bit more energy and a little bit more maybe movement than you normally would, right? Because if I am just sitting and talking to a friend at a coffee shop, I'm going to be talking like this. And that has a different feeling than if I am fully engaged, sharing with you. I got a smile on my face, right? I've got some energy. I'm so excited to be sharing with you today, right? That's a different energy. So again, it's not caricature, cartoon version. You don't have to be something you're not, but you got to psych yourself up a little bit and give yourself a little bit of a pep talk and smile. Okay. When that Facebook Live starts, I want you to put a smile on. Your frame is going to be caught in that first couple seconds. So know that. So that's why you'll see some people start their Facebook Lives with these crazy faces or these crazy masks and stuff. And they're doing that to kind of capture, like, I'm going to give you a reason to stop and click. You don't have to do that. I don't do that. But I do try to kind of be cognizant of it's going to capture my smile at the beginning. And there are ways to change that. If you get a really awful capture, like if you're like, you know, looking really, really silly, there's a way to change that, and I can help you with that. But I want you to also think of being 100% you. So this is not about trying to be someone you're not. The world needs you to show up and be you. Okay. So let's talk about what you're going to talk about on your Facebook Live. Let's remind you of that. Remember, with your branding, that's your content compass. That is what you're talking about. So given your branding, what you are all about, I want you to realize you have a lifetime supply of information. Whether you feel that way or not, you do. You're the expert in that. You have a lifetime supply of information. Once you start realizing, I could teach about this all day long. I mean, I could find something to talk about high performance for the rest of my life, and I will. But my mind, you know, if I'm thinking, I don't know what to talk about today. Okay, well, what's my brand? Okay, people want to know how to be more productive. All right, what could I talk about? Productivity. And then my mind can find something to talk about, right? So I want you to remember, you are not going to be this content buffet. You're not going to be distracted by all the things you could talk about. You can talk about a lot of things, but I want you to always have the umbrella be your brand. Oh, go ahead. Was that somebody? No. Okay. I want it always to be your brand. So let's say I'm talking about my kids' gymnastic meet. That's not what my brand is, but I'm going to tie in a story about Emily working towards getting her back bend. And I'm going to share how that's related to high performance and how you could use that for yourself. So you see, your topics can be anything, but your brand is that encapsulated kind of lane that you're in, okay? This kind of sounds obvious, but when you're passionate about your content, your audience is going to be too. So I have a VIP one-on-one coaching client, and she sells clothing. And she just did her first Facebook Live, and she thought she sold thousands of dollars of clothes. She's so good at what she does. She's been doing it for 14 years, and she was scared to death to do a Facebook Live, and she did it. And now she's not so darn upset she did it. She has people rolling in because of the power of that. Okay. Something else I want you to really think about on your Facebook Lives is, if you want something, you got to ask for it. So I want you to think of asking your audience for what you want. Asking, that's what a call to action is. So here's some ideas. You can ask them, once you feel bold enough or you kind of want to start doing this, you can ask them, if you found value in this, please share it with your friends. That would just mean the world to me. You know, please share this video. If you share this video, drop the word share below. I would love to give you a gift. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I want you to also, though, think of asking questions in your Facebook Live. This is really the highest level of kind of skill. So you might not start out here, but if really think of practicing from the get-go of asking questions as you share your content. So this kind of is exciting because it means exciting or takes the pressure off a little bit, I guess is another way you could put it. Think about, instead of having to deliver a 7-minute speech, right? That's daunting. You're going to be delivering some content, and then you're going to think, what question could I ask to get some engagement? So I always want you to start out your Facebook Lives. This is super, super powerful, with a question about the pain point or struggle or problem that you're solving. So I'll give you an idea. If my Facebook Live is about how to be productive, I might start out saying, oh my gosh, drop a 1 below if you have ever got to the end of your day and said to yourself, I was busy all day long, but I got nothing done. Drop a 1 below if that's ever been you. Do you see what I'm doing there? It is like, oh, she's going to teach me about that. Oh, I'm in. That's me. One, psychologically speaking, that gets people interested in the solution. You become that value source to them. Two, it gets some engagement. It gets you to have a reason to converse over in Facebook Messenger. Thanks so much for hopping on. I saw that you struggle with that too. I'm actually doing a coaching program about how to increase your productivity. Like, tell me, what would you like help with? They already told me they struggle with it. So now I get to come in and be a solution. I get to come in and kind of save the day, so to speak, right? So my fashion consultant client came on and said, have you ever, drop a yes below, if you've ever looked at your closet and thought, it's full of clothes and I have nothing to wear. Like, who has felt that way? Drop a 1 below, and people will start dropping a 1 below, and you can then call them out and say, oh, Terry, you've had that problem too. Oh my gosh, Terry, you always look so cute. I can't imagine you have that problem, but yeah, you've had that problem, right? So speaking of that, kind of the etiquette for Facebook Live is that you don't call out anyone individually that's just viewing. They don't necessarily want to be like called out just because they're watching, but once they write a comment, they want to be called out. They want to be, if Dawn comments on my Facebook Live, yes, that's me, or I'm looking for a new spring wardrobe, right? I'm going to say, oh, hey, Dawn, you are? Yes, awesome. I can help you with that. Thanks for joining, Dawn. And you kind of keep talking. So once people engage, that's what people love about Facebook Live. They feel like they're kind of talking to you and interacting. They love it. People love to hear their name. I think that's from like Stephen Covey or one of those, Habits of Highly Effective People. How to Win Friends and Influence People. The number one thing people love to hear is the sound of their own name. So people want to be acknowledged. But again, if you will start seeing who's watching. It will show you, they just hopped on, they're watching. General etiquette is you don't necessarily call them out. They don't necessarily, I'm just watching. I don't need you to be like, tell them that I'm here. So you can kind of choose how you feel about that. Another thing in terms of asking is, if people do share, reward them. If they comment, reward them. Say thank you for sharing. Respond to it. Really call them out. Wow, that means so much to me. Thank you so much for sharing, Dawn. Thank you so much, right? And, you really want to show up and deliver, which of course is obvious, but people are spending their valuable time with you. And I don't mean that to pressure you, but you never know who's watching. So show up and give it your best. Okay. Here's a ninja tip to get more likes, comments, and shares. And remember what a lead is in Facebook land. A lead is a like, a comment, or a share. Basically, when people engage with your stuff, that is a lead. It's not necessarily a hot prospect lead, but it's a lead. One of my top tips is basically spend 15 minutes a day, just 15 minutes a day, spending time on Facebook, commenting on other people's posts and in groups. Engage, add value, connect with people. Okay? You don't just go in and share your stuff and you're out. Like, this has to be a two-way street. And your friends and your colleagues and your prospects will start to see you as someone who adds value, who's a real friend, not someone just with that commission breath, right? And of course, when you're commenting, just be you and be genuine. So I will never say go and compliment people just to get your way. Like, of course, that's not what we're doing. If you have a genuine compliment to give to someone, that's what you're going to do, okay? Generally speaking, I want you to think of share your brilliance. So I want you to think of teaching, not selling. You are selling, but the number one way to sell is just to teach and add value. And of course, if you start selling all the time, you're going to lose your audience, okay? So I want you to think of being a curator. And what I mean by that is a curator is I want you to gather interesting stories or facts or trainings or resources about your content, about your brand, and share them. People will start to come back to listen to what you share. You will start to grow a following. I can't wait to hear what she's going to share next about that. Because if you're building a tribe of raving fans that love your value and content, they're going to want to know what you've got next. And here's another thing. If you are new to this or new to your business or new to whatever the thing is you're sharing, I want you to imagine sharing how you're growing. Show yourself growing, which means be vulnerable in terms of that. It makes you highly relatable and extremely attractive. So the woman who just did her first Facebook Live about the clothing, we really stressed she was going to share, like, I am terrified. I have never done this. My coach told me to do it, and here I'm doing it. Oh my gosh. Everyone, of course, rallied around her. And then she not only showed vulnerability, but she knocked it out of the park, meaning she just did it. She did it fine. It doesn't have to be the best, glamorous, amazing thing. But consistently doing it, she's building a following. So show yourself growing. It's really cool to say, if it's, your first one, holy, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm supposed to tell you to drop a 1 below. Like, that is how I've built my business and my brand. I'm just myself. People love it. Perfection is not attractive. So good news, it works great because no one's going to do this perfectly. Okay. There are times when I do Facebook Live and I totally forget to do a call to action, or I totally forget to have any engagement, and that's totally okay. Okay. The last piece of of Facebook Live, the whole function, right, is to convert like crazy. It's to engage, it's to connect, it's to grow your business. So basically, my rule of thumb, because I'm growing my business on Facebook, and if you're growing your business on Facebook, which is why you're here, I reach out to every single person that comments on my stuff. I either reach out in the comment section with, thanks for watching, what was your top tip, or how are you going to use this, or, create some conversation. But I most certainly go over to Facebook Messenger. If they are someone that is new or a prospect or someone that I want in my funnel, so to speak, I am going to go to Facebook Messenger all day long, right? And what I mean by all day long is 20 minutes, right? I don't really mean all day long, but I follow my leads. And it does not take you all day long. But isn't that a fun problem to have if it did? That you have so much business, you can't even keep up. So, the main thing here again is every Facebook Live, I want you to have a call to action, because your Facebook Live is someone's first time with you every time. Okay, every video you do, every Facebook Live will be someone's first contact with you. All right. What are we going to do when we don't feel like doing it or we're too scared to do it? We're going to do it anyways. And one of the things that I've learned in high performance coaching and in my own life is something that really helps motivate us to do things we don't want to do is remember the dream. Remember why you're doing this. And that may be your own dream, and it might be you need to start thinking about who needs you to show up on your A game. Who is relying on you to show up on your A game? So if you can't do it for yourself, a lot of us will do things for others that we won't do for ourselves. So think of that. Who's counting on you to grow this business? Who's counting on you to be your best? That will help you push through. And remember, psychologically speaking, you have to behave your way into different thinking. So you will not find your way out of fear about Facebook Live trying to think about it. You'll do that by doing the Facebook Live and realizing, I did not die. I did not totally embarrass myself. People responded. I actually made a sale. Oh my gosh, this is growing my business. I kind of like this. It's fun. You're going to behave your way into different thinking. So if it takes you 5 seconds of courage, you need to cheerlead yourself and tell yourself, here I go. Nothing good happens inside my comfort zone. So here we go. Okay. There's a couple tricks, and then we're wrapping up here. A couple tricks to make it look good, okay, is your lighting. So I'm going to drop in the group, I'm going to drop just some of there's $20 lights that you can buy that we use for our Facebook Lives every time. If I'm sitting here by a window like I am today, I don't necessarily need the light, but you got to you want it so people can see your face. So I see people do Facebook Lives and it's dark. Like, we got to see your face. We got to see your face. Having the light in front of you from a window shining on you like I do, the window's in front of me here. You can see the light moves that way. Okay, so I'm not going to sit in front of the light. I'm going to sit in back of it, right? And then it's interesting. Having good posture and sitting up straight will make for a better Facebook Live too. So my husband and I do lots of Facebook Lives together, and he's like sitting back. I'm like, sit up, and it just makes all the difference. Okay, so we don't wake up looking like this. Okay, so give it a little bit of extra effort. You are all professionals doing, you're professional people. That does not mean you have to be in full makeup and look amazing every time. Although if you want to think about your brand, it might be your brand. I rarely show up not looking great because I am a high performer. I like to feel my best, and that's my brand. So just a little transparency there, right? And I don't think you have to look like crap to be your authentic self. Like I hear some people say that, but everyone will think you're perfect. No, they don't. You're going to show you're vulnerable and you're real by how you show up. So if you don't feel good about getting on Facebook Live looking terrible, don't do it. Do what makes you feel your best. Show up as your best for that reason. There is a video filter app that I can see the slide here, but you can't. It's called UCam Perfect. So camera, UCam Perfect, and I'll send that to you. It's a free app. If you want to make videos, it has some lovely filters that make you look really good. So there are tips and tricks we can use to just help us get to our A game, right? Okay. So that is what I've got today. I am going to recording.